All right, showing that we're live. Still got to give it a few moments. I really do need to work on a better intro to just kill time. Maybe I should do one of them like countdown timers, but that's kind of lame. All right, so the sun is gonna be up in a few moments. So if I'm hard to see, the sun's literally coming up. Give me 3 minutes, and I'll be somewhat more viewable. But let's go ahead and talk about the Xfinity and the Truck Series really quick. I'm probably going to be live for around 40 minutes. I kind of want to at least have 20 minutes before Cup Series practice starts just to kind of goof around and make sure I got everything working to get the data and everything from practice. Let me go ahead and get my Xfinity and truck stuff up over here. You can feel free to drop any questions. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on this Saturday, March 26th, year of our Lord and Savior, 2022. I like the Xfinity race way more than the Truck Series. I'm playing 5 lines for both, and really both of these, all 5 of those lines are basically built off the same line for both series. There's the guys that I like. Not confident enough to do a single entry, but I basically just built off of the same core for both of my lines for the truck and Xfinity here. And let me just bring this stuff over here. All right, so let's see. Good morning, guys. Cup Series practice starts in an hour, which this practice and qualifying is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. That this is hard to watch, man. This is hard. Like, man, yesterday was long. It was tiring. Xfinity basically was just a wash for practice, unwatchable for qualifying. If I did not have to do this, I would not be sitting here and watching stuff. For trucks, I currently have where are we at? I got 2 lineups, 2 out of my 3 lineups with Kyle Busch. Right now, I have 1 out of the 5 with John Hernimacek. The rest are chasing the guys that I just like. And I have DeBenedetto in every single line for the truck series. That's where I'm at right now. I know that's not really a stand. I like Kyle Busch to win the race. It just depends on. I don't think we're gonna have yellows, but it is the truck series, and it's not. Do we see people wreck? It's do we see people stall on the track? Because that is gonna always bring out a yellow. That's my only concern about Kyle Busch not leading those laps, because he's gonna short pit the stages. He's not gonna stay out and win those. At least I don't think so. I think he's giving up too much time doing that. So I think he's gonna lead. I'm aiming for him leading stage 3. And maybe leading a lap or 2 before the end of stage 1 or stage 2. But this race is extremely short, and I think the Kyle Busch ownership is going to be extremely low, probably less than 40%, to be honest with you. And so that's the main reason why I made it a goal to have at least 2 of my 5 lineups with Kyle Busch, just because I'm getting the ownership discount on Kyle here. And I don't really like Sheldon Creed. I don't like Zane Smith. I don't like Alex Bowman. I don't like Parker Kligerman. Right now, it's Kyle Busch and John Hunter for me in terms of lap leaders that I would bother chasing. After that, like I said, everybody qualified quite poorly, and so we have a ton of my plays that I like, starting in the teens, starting in the 20s, and then obviously, like I said, I got DeBenedetto in all of my lines. He broke a track bar yesterday. Not concerned about that. The thing that does concern me, however, is his where we at? DeBenedetto, his practice time. So Benedetto was slow on his runs, and yet again, these practices were washed. So what Pierce did was he took his basically the 2 best runs, or the 2 best laps, really. And so for DeBenedetto, that would most likely be his, where is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, his 5th and 6th laps. Which when weighed together, that is the 29th best speed ranking of the 2 lap averages that we're looking at, which is Unfortunate, but I think DiBenedetto is going to be fine. He is an attrition play. I don't foresee DiBenedetto pushing inside the top 10 at any point in this race. I'm just playing him because he's going to be faster than 20 cars in this race, and I think that's going to get it done for the Truck Series here. That's where I'm at right now. And when we're looking at drivers and stuff in this race, like let's count off the guys that DiBenedetto should legit have a better car than. And I know we're harping on DiBenedetto here, but I'm at least defending why I'm just 100% on Matt in this race. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'm not really losing a shitload of money. It's only, what is it, $70 between the 10 and the 4. So he's gonna pass Jaskell, who is the slowest car on track. He's gonna pass Will Rogers in the Raymond Brothers machine. He's gonna be more consistent than Dean Thompson. Brad is just, I can't, and I mentioned this in the Discord. Now I'm a dirty Hispanic myself, so I can say this. But if Brad Perez was white, nobody would be talking about him at all. I can't believe we've had nothing but the media on their knees this entire week talking about Brad Perez, and then talking about his experience at Watkins Glen last year when he didn't even finish the race. He finished like 28th in an ARCA race at Watkins Glen. Didn't even have the equipment to complete the race. I don't know why we're just moving everything over for Perez here. So he's going to be passing him. Tate Fogelman, I can argue that he'll be racing with him. He's going to be faster than Spencer Boyd. He's going to be faster than Perkins. I think Tanner Gray is going to show up and race. I think DiBenedetto is going to be faster than Jack Wood. I think he's going to be on par with Colby Howard. I think he's going to be on par with Timmy Hill, but at that point, he's already 10 positions up on the starting grid. He's going to be better than Lawless Allen. He's going to be more consistent than Chase Purdy. I think he's going to be racing side by side with Deegan. He'll be faster than Logan. And at that point, we're in the top 20 of cars of where he's going to be racing with. And then it goes from how many guys does he pass and how many guys is he outscoring. He's going to be outscoring Chris Wright. He's going to be outscoring Austin Wayne Self due to this. He'll be on pace to compete with Derek Krause, depending on what you have him projected as. And even guys starting inside the top 10 who lose positions, he's going to be a better point per dollar play than Zane Smith, than Alex Bowman, than Stuart Friesen. And so that's the reason why I've centered around just locking into Benedetto and building a lineup from there. And I appreciate 32 of you guys being here on a Saturday morning. I do appreciate that. But that's the Benedetto talk. I'm not really going to bother trying to get away from that here with basically no fast laps and lap sled points to be given out in this race. I think the Benedetto play is just fine. And I think you have to do it. I think he has a high chance of being optimal. And he's not going to kill your line, to be honest with you. Unless he finishes dead last. If he gets to finish in the 20s, not great, not going to kill your line. Your line is not going to not cash because of DiBenedetto in that circumstance. Past that, I do have a line with Tate Fogelman. I do have a line with Dean Thompson, and I do have a line with Will Rogers, just due to the fact that I had to get in that lower or in that 5K range that had some upside, because the only 5K range plays that I really centered on was Timmy Hill at 5,200 and or Haley Deegan being the cheapest play in my lines. And so that's where I'm going at in the value range this morning, right now at least. And then let me move this over here. And then in terms of, I need to move these. Sorry about that. Let me mute that. Let's see. I like Kaz Gralla a lot. I think Kaz is going to finish top 6 today. I like Enfinger. And I like Enfinger specifically because I think more people are going to go to Ben Rhodes. When we look at, track history, or at least road racing history, and certainly I do believe that this does have an impact on people who don't, put a ton of money into NASCAR DFS. They're going to see Enfinger with an absolutely abysmal DraftKings points average this year, and then just move on up to Ben Rhodes. So I do like Enfinger. I actually love Enfinger. I love Gralla. Those are my them and Benedetto are the guys that I'm highest on. Outside of that, I'm kind of just spreading out ownership between the guys that I want. But you can see what I meant when I first started this video of my 5 lineups are basically the same line, just moving in and out. Guys, because that's where I'm at there. Let's see here. How much do you have Kyle Busch projected for? He won't leave. So for me, I projected him to, and I don't think this is crazy. I got Kyle winning the race, 14 laps led, 15 fast laps. I don't think that's crazy at all. That's going to lend you around, anywhere from 59 to 62 points. Right now, I have Kyle projected for 61.25. I think his ceiling's around 64, and I think Kyle can get there with a 4.5 value. Right now, I have him at a 4.7. That's where I'm at right now. It's more so. I love the ownership play for Kyle Busch because I really think that people are not going to play Kyle Busch in this situation, and that's mainly my defense on having 2 lines out of my 5 with Kyle Busch here. Let's see. No, Jaskol he's the slowest car on the track. He should not have made the race at all. When we look at here, let me separate these lower here. We'll look at the back 38 cars real fast. So let's see here. Share screen. I always have to say this out loud because I always forget what I'm doing here. So if you go to racefortheprize.com or use the Patreon or the link in the description below, I should just say that. Use the Patreon link below, and you can get access to the sheets that Pierce makes, the work that we both put into it. You can get my projections, his projections as well. And I actually took this off of the sheet here just so I could move it around. It's not color coordinated, but you'll get the full practice data in the sheet. But this is looking at the lower 39 guys here. And so this is, as I was just saying, the average, the rankings of the guys here. And when we look at this is speed at the line. And so remember that the Truck Series we had freeze and stall early in the practice session. We had, I forgot, I have them in the notes. I wrote it down. I just remember right now we had freeze and stall at least, and that was it. So when we look, this is obviously their car number. And then here, like I said, it's color coordinated on the actual sheet. I just brought it here so I can mess around with it on my own time last night. This is speed at the line. And so, for example, on Dean Thompson's first lap under green, he crossed the line at 86.6 miles per hour. And then I don't think we'll see 88s on these guys here, but there's guys above who are doing much faster at the line. You can see like this Tyler Hill line is he's crossing the line here under yellow at 29.3 miles per hour. But anyway, when you look at Jaskol here, I mean, not even near the 80s under full speed. I mean, Jaskol he's just slow as molasses, man. And I believe he actually only did 1 lap at full pace at full race speed. I gotta look back at what pulled here. Why is this the exact same across the board? But he's still just slow. Even when you look at the practice results, like if you're using like Bob Hockerson when he posts his like practice speeds and stuff, he's absolutely the slowest car on the track. And you could see that when you were watching practice. Kyle Busch catches him in practice going through the S's, and he's just slow. And Kyle's having to go way out of the groove on one of his practice laps. And then in qualifying, John Hunter Nemechek gets trapped behind him on the exit of a corner just because Jaskol was so slow, and it kills. Another reason why I like John Hunter Nemechek is because his lap absolutely got smoked by Jaskol, and his tires were already worn out because he was flying. I guarantee you John Hunter Nemechek would have started top 5 today. He just got killed by Jaskol on the Q lap. That's where we're at there. Let's see. I have Ty Majeski in a couple lines here. I like in terms of the it depends. I have Ty Majeski in lines that I'm not paying up for guys at the moment. That might change. I might change those lines a bit. But right now, like say if I'm paying up for Kyle Busch or Nemechek, I'm not having Majeski in a line. Whereas if it's a more balanced build, then I'm making sure I got Majeski in that. Yeah, I have Logan in one. I have him projected for. I'm giving Logan a where are we at here, Logan boy. And this is mainly me just trying to build the line that I wanted. I have him projected for 19th. My main concern is that anytime we get these guys who legit know the track, but they don't know how these guys race. NASCAR races, they race extremely, extremely dirty. That's my main concern. Very similar to, thank God, Partis and those idiots qualified up front for Xfinity, so we don't have to worry about even playing those guys. So I was very tempted to play Taylor Gray in lines. I decided not to play Taylor Gray. I do have Tanner Gray in 2 lines, but I don't hate either one of those guys. And sure, Tanner Gray sucks horribly. He's a very, very bad driver. But he's starting 28th. That's where you want to play a driver like him. I think that's about all my opinions for Truck Series. I'm trying to make this easier for the replays and stuff because I want to get this. I didn't want to be doing this, after Cup qualifying and stuff like that. I just want to get all this stuff out of the way this morning so people can go in, re-listen to the replay, or if you're the 40 guys here, covering both races really quick so you can just focus on your Cup Series stuff. I think I'm going to go ahead and move on to Xfinity at this point. And if you still get any truck questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. But when we get to Xfinity, this is the race that I like. I am all in on several people in this Xfinity Series race. We'll kind of go through the list here. I made these lines last night. Let me just make sure. Let me go back to this one real fast. Sterling below. I gotta see the prices real quick. Logan. Yes. To answer this question, yes. The better question would be I'm very, very concerned about playing him at 21st. That's why I only did it in one line. And I think that is that's the takeaway because I don't want to play Jaskell is not going to finish in the top 30. Like everybody can wreck, and Jaskell still won't be able to pass people. Lawless Allen, I'm not doing Lawless Allen. I don't trust Lawless Allen. I don't like the 4K range at all in the Truck Series. I would do my best to avoid that, but I would end up on Logan if I had to. In terms of Xfinity, my favorite, I'm just going to say right now because I'm 100% on Noah Gragson. I'm 100% on Josh Berry. And I have Brandon Jones in 4 out of my 5 lines. I am dying on those 2 hills. I think Josh Berry is a fantastic play. I think Berry is I don't even know where his ownership's going to come in at. I'm sure people will play him, but I think Berry is just a standout play. I love Berry here. And this is me learning from previous races. I'll even bring up his last finishes on road courses. Last year, and he ran the 25 last year in some of the road courses, but I was far too harsh on Josh Berry last year at road courses. I did not believe in him. I was very harsh on Josh Berry in general last year, but that 8th place finish at Mid Ohio like that, you're actually showing some skill there. When we look at Berry's finishes in the Truck Series, Let me bring this up here. Sorry, trying to get there. We're waiting. We're letting stuff load. Let's see where we at here. Truck Series races. When I look at his races last year, 11th at Watkins Glen. I like that, to be honest. He's actually competent. He's running up there. He's not for Josh Berry to not be a road course guy. Oh, but he's good at short tracks. Whatever the case was, I was far too harsh on Josh Berry in terms of his talent last year. I'm not making that mistake. I think Josh Berry is horribly mispriced, and he's starting 25th. I think Josh Berry finishes in the top 10 today really easily. I think Gregson competes for the win. That's just where I'm at. I like the builds that I'm getting. I like where I'm at, and I'm not getting up to. I have AJ Allmendinger in one line. I was gonna build a Ty Gibbs line last night, but decided against it. So that's where I'm at right now. Some of the other, I wanted to be underweight on Miguel Paludo. So this is an example of a guy that we have seen constantly run, these Xfinity Series races, who's a road course ringer who just doesn't get the finishes that we want. And I think Miguel Paludo is going to be played a lot today, and that's mainly the main reason why I'm so high on Barry, just because I want to get off of the Miguel Paludo ownership. I like Landon Castle. I think Snyder's a good play as well. And those are really the guys that I've centered the lineups around. But yeah, I mean, that's my biggest takeaway is that I have 4 to 5 lines with Brandon Jones. I have 100% ownership to Josh Berry. I have 100% ownership to Noah Gragson. That's just where I'm at today. I didn't feel the need to just keep building lines. I covered the guys that I wanted to in the 5 lines I'm at there, and so that's really if you want the picks, whether they're right or wrong. I like Gragson. I like Berry today for the Xfinity Series race, and I'm perfectly fine doing 100%. Yet again, what do I have on the line today? $140 between the two races. Very heavy on certain guys. That's perfectly fine if they don't cash or if they get wrecked. It's fine. It's not going to kill me or completely ruin my day. But yeah, that's where we're at there. Feel free to drop questions in. I'll probably be live for another 20 minutes. We'll just kind of be answering questions or shooting the breeze at this point. But that's really my takeaway for Xfinity Series. Both these races, and Xfinity was a wash in practice. Nobody got any good laps because these guys just kept on stalling. So a lot of the qualifying times or a lot of the practice times, in my opinion, is very much inflated because Pardis put that lap down before most of the field really did have a full green flag run. And so, Pardis and I'm not saying DGM doesn't have real cars in this race, but I think Pardis would have gone farther down the charts if this race was a traditional practice session. And continuing on with that, I'm not playing LeBay. I'm not playing Pardis. I'm not playing Chastain. If you want to play that, by all means, feel free to. Pardis is start far too close to the front for me. He's always been a place differential play on these road courses, and even then, he's less than a 50% hit rate there. I don't see Pardis leading laps. I don't see him getting fast laps. I don't see that for LeBay. I don't see that for Chastain. I'm sure they'll have a great real life day when they all finish inside the top 15, but I don't believe that they're going to be optimal for DraftKings. In terms of Buford or Buford, I still say it's Buford. I do not. I don't have any. And yeah, I have a lot of interest in Hemrick. I like Hemrick a lot. And I think that's just going to lead to drastically different builds. And so going back to lineup construction real quick for Truck Series. Truck Series is only 5,000 people in that contest. We don't need to get drastically different. Xfinity is only 10,000, but I don't see a lot of builds leaning towards the way that I'm building, because I'm building very much in the 9K range, and I don't believe a lot of people are going to do that. I think it's very difficult, and certainly, like, if people are chasing a lap leader, personally, I believe that is. I think Gregson and I think Barry can easily fall into that. So I'm perfectly fine not traditionally going out and finding a lap leader like Gibbs. Like I said, I only have one line with AJ Allmendinger. I like Sam Mayer. I'm not playing Sam Mayer. I didn't need to get to him in any of the lines that I made. If I would have probably made more, I would have ended up with some Sam Mayer ownership, because I think Sam Mayer can finish in the top 10 and end up being a pretty good value as well. But I love Gregson. I love Hemrick. I love Josh Berry. That's where we're at. And that's yet again, that's the picks for COTA today. I like these races. I like these lines, and I'm very comfortable playing them and stuff. I'm not. We'll see what happens. Clearly anything can happen, but I like this race. I like how qualifying shook out, and I like the type of line construction that I'm kind of not ending up on. So I'm perfectly fine with that. I do have a line with Bubba Wallace. I think he's probably my most interesting play in terms of playing him. I have him in one line. I don't think Bubba's going to have a lot of ownership. And yeah, those are kind of basically my takeaways there. Best drivers under 6K, Stefan. Let's go ahead and look. I need to probably bring up DraftKings, because I do not have this stuff sorted by pricing. So let me look real quick. Uno momento, por favor. Sorry, let me get that. Let me just look at this real quick. All right, under 6K. Let's look. That's a lot of people. They're not 6. They're 6'2" and 6'1", but I like Ryan Sieg. I like Jeb Burton. Do I have Yaley in a line? No. I'd probably say Balicki and Bailey Curry if you are dead set on being under 6K. But I very much like Ryan Sieg and Jeb Burton at 6'2" and 6'1" if you can get to them. Yeah, that's the that's the show, really. I think I've touched on where I want to go and everything with people, or with drivers at least, which is really good. I love evenings, specifically Friday or Saturday nights, where I can get all that stuff done. I kind of already know where I want to go with lines as I'm building, as I'm making the projections. I didn't run all these lines are hand built today. I didn't run the optimizer. So, which normally I at least run the optimizer once, but usually with races with this few laps led, I can just, look at my projections, look at my, what is it? Not the formatting, or no, conditional format, whatever the case is, just highlighting the highest projected guys and get those in lines by myself. I don't necessarily need the optimizer for that, or the MME tool for that. Let's see. I think that's where we're at. I might skedaddle here, to be honest with you. We ain't getting too many questions. I do appreciate you guys. 50 people here on Saturday morning. Even harder to get up on Saturday than it is Sunday. So I think we're gonna end it there. If you guys have any more questions, you can just tweet at me or DM me on Twitter. If you like the program, if you like the shows, if you like the work that we're putting in, or if you just want to save time in terms of gathering, practice data or previous race data, track history, easy to read sheet that's much better than just like, oh, so and so has 15 top fives here. Like that doesn't show me anything. Personally, I don't like sheets like that, where it's like this driver has 7 top 5 finishes at road courses. Okay, well that's good. I need to differentiate where those top fives are. Are they just fifth place finishes? Are they threes? So personally, I don't like sheets like that. So if you want to save time and get things in an easy to read fashion with a ton of data out there, consider supporting us on Patreon. I have one line with Parsons. 1 out of 5 lines with Parsons. I don't think I'd get to him anymore if I did 10. He'd very much be probably about a 5% play for me. But I like the build that I end up going with Parsons. That's where we're at right there. For truck series, I would not do that. I would not play Kyle Busch and Nemechek together for the truck series. I'd play one or the other, but I would honestly lean to just not play either one of them. Like I said, I'm probably high on Kyle Busch with my 2 lines, just because I'm trying to take advantage of that ownership discount that I think we're going to see from him. But yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in, and I'll be live tomorrow, probably around the same time, if not an hour later, for the Cup Series race tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and yeah, just thanks for being here. I do appreciate it.